This episode includes a discussion about suicide. Listener discretion is advised.
If you or someone that you know is in need for help, please reach out.
In the U.S., the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is available 24/7 and can be reached at
1-800-273-TALK.
1-800-273-TALK.
Once you get healthy with your body, it transfers to your mind. If you're starting something, if you're trying to make a change, you need to be patient. Let me just say that again. You need to be patient because it doesn't just happen. You're having to reverse years and years of just damage to your body.
Welcome to Inner Pump, where we help driven individuals get the most out of life and build the inner mastery to drive growth, confidence, discipline, and mental fortitude, where overcoming adversity means doing the things you know you should do. Real topics, real people, real business. I'm your host, Ajay. Let's get it. This is Inner Pump.
Let's get it.
I love that.
Hey.
Come on
That's an
now.
original. Ajay original. Let's talk about the intro song, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, but hold on. We got a special guest in the building tonight, baby. We got Shannon Delehanty in the building. She's a free thinker.
And we got a little bit of an audience.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
I got my dude with me.
I know. He's just staring at me. I must be fun. I know I'm funny looking. I know.
Yeah, man. But hey, we have bodybuilder in the building, competitor, free thinker, patriot. Shannon, how you feeling?
Amazing.
Mama.
I'm blessed.
Oh, I forgot to say mama.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to
New
say,
mama.
wait a
Yeah,
second.
hold on.
We
Right
just
there.
talked about my little dude
I
right
should have
here.
said mama first.
It definitely is an identity, that's for sure. You
Oh
take
my gosh.
that it just takes over your life in the best way possible, though. We need that. We need it.
We really do. So 6 month old, huh?
Yeah. He took over my life in the best way, like I said, and oh gosh, he's a blessing. Oh,
There he is.
clearly wasn't. He said, "Hey, what's up, everybody?"
Hey, man. Yeah, you're gonna hear Declan in the back.
Yeah. Before we get into a bunch of stuff, we just had my mom on.
Yes.
And I feel a really cool part about this era is they're going to actually have recorded memories, stuff that they could actually look back on.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward 12 years for this guy. What would you say about his first 6 months, right?
Oof. Yeah.
What would you say?
Man, well, I've been a single mom with him. His dad is, in another city. And so it's just been me and him. So it's going to be, oh my gosh. He's been so much fun. We've recorded so many special moments, like including him peeing and pooping on me at the same time. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. So there's going to be a lot of embarrassing moments for him, especially when he wore his little cutest pumpkin in the patch outfit yesterday. But, gosh, it's been so fun, and I just feel so blessed, like, every day. I've never regretted a single moment of, even though it's been hard at times, it's been the best thing I could have done. It's the best challenge I've had in life and gave me purpose. He's given me such a new lease on life,
Stay there.
So.
Stay there. How did you figure out this new purpose?
Oof. What do you mean figure it
Well,
out?
not figure it out. Yeah, he came, but
he just came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
No, how did he come to be, you mean? Or
no, not how did he come to be. Just you said that you have this newfound purpose, right?
before he came to be, I was in a spot in my life where it was just really, really tough. I don't know. I just kind of felt really lost. Didn't really have direction in my life. I was, 32. So, I've been through a lot in this whole journey of my life. And I just was praying one day randomly. I hadn't been connected to my faith for whatever reason. I just kind of strayed away. And something just motivated me. I was desperate. And I got on my knees one day and I just said, Lord, please, I'm so lost. I need your guidance. I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm 32 and I don't know what I really want to do in life for work. I don't know, I feel like a lot of our generation, we're so lost, especially after COVID. And we got thrown kind of in a wrench in our lives, right? Although I did kind of thrive during that time and survived through it. But yeah, anyway, I was praying that one day and then, goodness, be careful what you pray for, okay? Because I was like, Lord, please show me what my purpose is. I'm ready. Throw me in. Whatever you have planned for me, I'm here for it. and you're in charge. I had to let go. I had to let go, let God, and let him control my life. And, I don't want to get too preachy on here, but that's a really big part of my story, because 3 weeks later, oh, I should just grab him, huh?
Yeah. Bring him on.
Okay. Here, buddy. He knows I'm talking about him. Okay. He knows I'm talking about him. But yeah, 3 weeks later,
First baby on the pod.
hey,
You made it before my son.
Yeah, but 3 weeks later, it was right before I was supposed to compete, or it was like right after I competed. I found out that I was pregnant. So it was right after my show, and apparently I was pregnant on stage, which
And you won that show, right?
Yeah.
I was about to say, not just any show.
Yeah,
We're going to get to that right after
We won
this.
the overall with this baby, okay? I don't recommend that for everybody. You little bit. But hey, he was the best blessing ever. But, fast forward, anyway, he gave me that purpose. He wasn't kidding, He was like, stop worrying about yourself. This is God, God talking to me. Stop worrying about yourself. You have another human now that you're responsible for. You've got so much more in life that you need to live for and do. And yeah, it gave me direction. I'll tell you that.
Man,
being a parent. So
that's super powerful.
So don't be humble. Tell us what you won when you were pregnant with him.
So I had actually competed the year prior, and I was using this show as a warm up for finals or for nationals. And so this was kind of like, we thought we were going to win this, Anything I do, y'all, I go all in, okay?
She's a monster.
All in.
She's a monster.
I am so competitive. Athlete mindset, that's what I want to instill in him. I mean, it takes you really, really far in life. Ajay knows about this. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so won the show, and it was NPC Southwest in San Antonio. And that was supposed to take me to nationals, which, yeah, like I said, we won the overall title. So in my category, it was wellness. And basically I won out of every category. They go by height. Won the whole category for myself.
Hold on.
She's saying that so loosely.
Hold on.
That's insane.
Before you guys, for all y'all listening to this,
Just
please.
be arrogant for her.
Shannon, hold on. Where can they find you on Instagram? What's your @name?
Shannon D_fit.
Okay.
So.
Go on there. Pause the podcast right now. Go to Instagram and look up Shannon D @Shannon D_fit. This one, she has better abs than me and Matt combined.
Oh, God.
100%.
Wait, hold on. Do you still have the abs after the baby?
I think they're still there. I think they're still a little bit there. It's been a challenge, like getting back from that mom bod, and I had a C-section with him, which that's a big challenge for a lot of moms, which I'm going to try to work with these moms in the future. But I learned a lot about like rebounding back from that. So they're still there, but it's just a work in progress.
Yeah, so
it's a little bit longer.
They're marinating.
Yeah, so it's a little. It's
But
a little long.
she looked ripped. Ripped.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I've seen the picture of you on the stage.
Yes.
What you talked about? I'm going to go way back. You talked about being an athlete, being competitive.
Yeah.
I think you're born with that probably. But tell me about your parents. Tell me about growing up playing sports.
Oh,
Who
man.
is Shannon?
How did Ajay describe it as she's a monster? How did the monster get created?
Yeah, I'm trying to think which parent is more competitive, and it's my mom. My mom is such a monster. Like, she is so moms, I now understand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a wolf, okay? Like, I will go off on anybody who messes with my kid. And my mom is very competitive. Her and I have always butt heads in our life, but
Two
I
alpha
think,
females.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I
Sure.
definitely got that competitive nature from her. My dad is also competitive, but he's a little bit more, I would say, diplomatic with his approach. He's not going to be, yelling at other players. And I mean, when I was playing, I played soccer most of my life. But I did get into a lot of other sports. I played baseball with the boys because in Hillsborough, back in California, hi, bud. Hillsborough, back in California, we didn't have a softball league. So I was like, all right, just put me in the baseball league. I crushed it, okay? I didn't, so I learned to play with the boys. And that really kind of shaped me as an athlete because I just didn't take crap from
No
anybody.
fear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, So that just kind of led me through life. And then I got into soccer very early on and played in the college level, but didn't really play at the college I wanted to. But honestly, it led me to here. So it's
Yeah, how
all
did you
right.
how did you go to SMU?
So my dad went to SMU and he was a graduate. And I wanted to get the hell out of California. I think y'all know why. Come on. For a lot of reasons. But at that time, it was like, 2008, 2009. That's when we were really, that was a hard time for everybody, I think. But that was kind of when everything started to change there. Like, people don't realize it, but under Obama, like, that's when stuff started to really get hairy. Like, that's where it all originated. So I really just wanted to branch out. I'd always been that kid to kind of go off and do her own thing. And I was super independent. And I
That's
wanted
the
to
word
get
I was thinking of. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Go ahead.
I wanted to get the out of California. Okay, like I just didn't relate to it anymore, and it was a great place to grow up. But yeah, anyway, I was like, all right, let's go try SMU. Okay, come on, y'all, get on that campus. Stunning, like you just fall in love, and I just felt like I was meant to be there. It was like this, moment.
Were you recruited to play soccer there?
No, but I was gonna walk on, but honestly, I had to focus on academics because it was hard.
hard.
I mean, I mainly got in. I was more of the student where my SAT scores were through the roof. Like, I think I had. Well, now the scoring system's different. I think it's like, I think I had 1,800 on one of my scores, which is really good at the time because it was out of 24, but 2,400. But yeah, and I realized, you know what, soccer's not going to be my whole life. I'm not going to go to the professional level. I tore my ACL in high school, so I just didn't see myself going there long term. And yeah, so then I just ended up being in school, and that was an interesting road as well. So
Before we get into after college, I do want to say before college or even during college and ask you, what was the hardest thing you had to overcome in those years leading up to college?
leading up to college?
Yeah,
so
or
high
even in
school?
college, or even in college. Is there one?
So what I really want to speak on too is, I was bullied in high school. It was, it was gut wrenching. Like, that was when social media was really starting to kick up. Yeah. And, God, thank you for keeping me on this earth, because I'm going to tell you right now, it was a hard time. I was getting, slandered and just called all sorts of things, memes being made about me, and it was all because this one girl was just jealous of some relationship or friendship I had with her boyfriend. Because we'd known each other since we were kids. But yeah, it really shaped me as a person, honestly, because I went from being this person that didn't really speak up for herself and didn't really I was kind of passive, didn't really want to fight anybody. And then I became someone that just, I became a mad dog. Like, anybody who would mess with anybody else, I was there for you. Like,
Because you knew what it was like.
Yeah. And it just kind of translated into my whole life.
How did you initially overcome that? Right? Because how did you? Was it a particular moment, or was it a parent? Like, was it friends that said, "Hey,
Yeah, because I want you
this
to
is
go.
not you. Go." How did you? I'm sure once you did it the first time, it got easier. But
I will say there was a part of it that was ugly. I didn't get the support that I needed in high school. They really didn't. They did victim blaming. And it wasn't the type of support we see nowadays for students that go through that. So unfortunately, I kind of was taking it out in different ways. I got involved with alcohol a little too much. I partied a little too much, but I was trying to deal with all this suppressed emotions and, the crap that I'd gone through. I didn't have therapists to kind of talk through it. My parents didn't really know how to help me. And honestly, I think I kind of had to go through that in order to figure out how to help myself and really hit a bottom. And, I wish I would have had that support, but now I know how to help other people. I feel like God really uses you, okay? God really uses you when you go through these hard moments to be a vessel for somebody else, to help them. So
when did that perspective change for you? Because it's so easy to blame yourself, especially if the people around you aren't helping you frame switch.
So I got suspended, okay? And my first year at SMU for drinking, and that was a time when it was, nowadays they don't care. They don't give
So
a
how you get
shit.
suspended for drinking?
Well,
Yeah,
it's too
like,
crazy now for them to stop it.
Yeah, it's out of control. But that was when they kind of didn't know how to SMU was so new. I feel like they didn't really have a lot of attention as they do now. And for those that don't know, SMU's in Dallas, Texas. It's right here where we're at, in Highland Park. But yeah, so anyway, I got suspended and I had to go through, counseling. And then that's when I really started to get the help. And then I got involved with people that had alcohol and drug abuse issues. And I created a group at SMU and got a bunch of students involved. And I really started to kind of weed through all of that mess, and get the help that I needed to kind of understand that it wasn't me that was causing all of this. It was, outside forces that just were challenging me, and I didn't have the help. I mean, I do have a part in it because I did make choices, but I didn't have the support I needed at the time. And my parents did the best they could. They can only do so much. And I just realized I was like, I can't do this. I can't be destroying my body, the body that God gave me. Like, He put me on this earth for a reason, y'all. And when I got in trouble, it just really showed me like, I'm better than this. I'm so much better than this. I can't, even now I'm like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have this little guy,
Did you ever think about committing suicide during those times of bullying?
Oof.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're here now for him. This is your purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there were times when it was really, really hard. It was really fucking hard. I'm just going to say it. Really fucking hard. You have these brief moments of like, I am so tired of fighting this shit. I'm so tired of dealing with this crap. I don't have any help. And like, you just feel so helpless. But there was some light inside me, like some remaining bit that was like, don't you dare do that. Don't you dare. But I will tell you that I had moments where I was like, I can't do this, Lord. I cannot do this. Like, and I wasn't really I wasn't really deep in my faith at that time, which is kind of interesting for me. My path with God has been so interesting in that I wasn't really that close, but for whatever reason, I still hung on to Him.
Yeah.
I still hung on to Him. I still had Him in my life at that point. And, oh God, there was one day and it just really sent me over. These girls, they were, we were at high school. At the end of it, I had a 0 period and I was allowed to leave early. But there was this group of kids. They were all waiting by my car, not letting me leave school. And they were just waiting to beat me up or whatever. And it's, they said, if you go to your car, like, it's not going to end well for you. This is all in text messages. I'm showing this to the school, and I'm just like, and they're just ignoring it and saying that you did this to yourself. Like, this was, you were drunk one night at a party, or probably, and then this is what happens. It's just like, can you imagine? And, so there was a point where, I was, I was in the bathroom and I was just sitting there in the bathtub and my parents just didn't know what was going on. We weren't close. And, cause they really felt helpless too. We just don't know how to help our kids sometimes. And now I know from this situation how to help my son. God forbid that happens to him, but just, I'm equipped. Where I was like, well, how do you, I looked up how to cut your wrists. Like, and then I thought to myself, but then something in me at that moment, just, something fell in the shower. Like, I can't remember what fell in the shower. Oops, sorry. You okay, bud?
Does he need some water? Or you don't drink water yet?
You don't drink water yet. You don't drink water yet. But something fell in the shower and it, like, literally hit me on the head. And I was like, what the hell? And it made me totally forget about it, which seems kind of silly.
It was like a snap out of it moment.
But I didn't think about it again. This is the thing. There is nothing on this earth. There's nothing you can do, okay, in life that is worth you taking your own life. God put you on this earth and he will forgive you for whatever you've done. Doesn't matter. He loves you. And like that really rung in my heart. So I want to make sure that everyone out there that goes through that pain, please reach out to somebody. Doesn't matter. I know it's so hard to kind of talk about things like that because even as women, we want to come off, strong. Men especially too. There's a high rate with men, and it's because they're not allowed to be sensitive. They have to really bottle up inside, and I've experienced that with my family. Not just other members of my family that have gone through that are men, and you're never alone. You're never alone. There's nothing you could do. There's nothing. I've seen some of the worst cases, okay? Drug addicts, everything. They have turned their lives around and then they look back and they say, thank God I didn't do that. So there's absolutely nothing in this world worth taking your life for. Yeah. Because you are loved. Just give it one day. That's what I said to myself when I would have a hard day. I would say, okay, you know what? Think about it tomorrow. One more day. Just give it one more day. Chances are that thought's going to go away. And if it doesn't, say it one more day. Again, it's the same kind of knowledge or phrase that we use in alcohol and drug groups is one day at a time. It's really one day at a time in a lot of parts of life, one day at a time with your stress or one day at a time being a mom, it's some days it's been hard, but I love it. But some days I'm just like, I'm so tired,
and you're doing it by yourself. I help my wife out all the time, and she says the same thing.
Yeah,
this is tough.
And so anyway, it's just one day at a time. That's all. Just give it one day, dude. One day.
No, I really appreciate you being so vulnerable with us and our audience because, that's real. And there's people out there right now that need to hear what you just said because there's some people that are going through that same thing that you're going through. They're getting bullied. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to turn to. And they think that the last resort is taking themselves.
Well, and you know what I said, like I said to you the other day, is, I feel like you have such a gift, right, of speaking and reaching people. And you could really use this podcast in such an amazing way. And we have gifts of speaking. I used to think that my, talkative nature, like the way that I just kind of was a bad thing. Yeah, I was told to kind of, hey, you're kind of talking too much. Like, can you shut the fuck up? It's like, but I'm realizing now, like, no, God gave us this gift because we need to be the voice for the voiceless. Yeah. Okay? Like, we need to be able to use those gifts to inspire others to speak up too. Because chances are, even nowadays, the shit that's happened nowadays, you guys, like, we need to be loud because not being loud got us here.
Facts. I agree.
So,
well, before we get into that, let's unpack how you got into bodybuilding and weightlifting. Yeah. Because I would love to know this story.
Ooh. All right. So I was engaged to a Marine out in North Carolina. We were together in my last year of school at SMU, and I ended up moving out to North Carolina to be with him. And we ended up, unfortunately, but in the best way possible, we ended up breaking up. And I was, you can imagine, like, at a young age, I think I was 25, 26. You have this whole life in front of you. You plan for it. And, you're supposed to be with that person. And, you put all your eggs in one basket. And everything just went to a screeching halt. I was like, what do I do now? I had talk about being lost. I've been lost multiple times in my life, clearly. Here we are. But that moment, when I got home, so I traveled back to Dallas. I moved back to Dallas. I always seem to come back to Dallas, right? So I got back to Dallas, and I just got into some really unhealthy behavior again because I was trying to just deal with the sadness of that whole breakup. It was awful. So I got overweight. I was not happy. One day I'm scrolling Instagram. I was so over this crap, feeling like shit and
were you drinking again?
Yeah, I was drinking again because, like, that's something I would resort to kind of just escape, right? I feel like a lot of people, they have their vice. Like some people, use marijuana. Some people do this, or, they exercise. That's a better one to use, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I just partied. Because when you party, you're escaping.
It's not you. Yeah.
A lot of people are escaping nowadays. It's really sad to see. But I got into drinking and I just thought, okay, I can't be doing this again. Like I woke up like hungover and just feeling like shit. I was so tired of it. You get to a point where you're tired. Scrolled on Instagram and I found this girl, this woman, her name's Stephanie Ayala. She is a beast. You want to talk about an amazing human that I was so blessed to just come across on my Instagram feed. Little did I know I'd be here, So I found her. I saw her. I randomly clicked on her picture, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to be this bitch. She is bad. She is so bad." So I was like, "God, I want to." She coached, and I was like, "Okay, maybe I just need someone to pull me out of this bullshit, And I just need them to show me the way, because I had been an athlete, but you train for a certain type." Of a certain type of sport for a long time. I wanted to do more of I wanted to be representing what I wanted to feel on the outside. I wanted to be on the inside. So bodybuilding, I was like, okay, I want to be proud of my body. Because I feel like as women, our whole lives, we really kind of have a hard time, really loving ourselves. And I wanted to love myself. I clearly, for so long, had been really struggling with loving myself and having self-esteem. So I figured, okay, you know what? We're going to go with working hard on my body. So I reached out to her. Fast forward, I got into WBFF with her, and I competed, and I won that show right off the bat. I was like, this is so much fun. I was fired up.
Wait, hold on, but you just skipped the process. You skipped the entire process.
You don't just win.
Yes.
You don't just go from partying on Saturday
I know, right?
to winning your
I signed up with her.
to DMing somebody on Instagram to winning. You're setting a bad example for people listening to this. Just
Everyone's like, I can be a bodybuilder.
I just I don't know. Sometimes I don't hop into the process.
No,
I'm just
tell us
I don't know how much y'all want to know.
Everything.
Okay.
I want to know the switch.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody can look at winning and say that's awesome because everybody does that. But how did you get there? I want to know nuts and bolts of your routine.
All right.
What are you eating?
Facts.
What are you supplementing?
Oof.
How are you doing that while I assume making money elsewhere to afford the right food, the right nutrition, the right training, the right guidance? I want that.
Okay. Yeah. Complete. When we talk about complete transformation, in all aspects of life. So that's kind of why I love bodybuilding, because it really, once you get healthy in the mind and just with your body, it transfers to your mind, because your gut, it starts in your gut, y'all. That's where the main nervous system is. It starts there. So once you take care of that, it feeds into everything else. So once I started to get healthier, she's like, okay, here's your plan. You just follow this nutrition plan, try to do this. I know it's kind of rough, but she gave me a list of foods. I had to change all of that. I was eating junk.
So did you hire her or just ask for help?
Yeah, so I hired her. I hired her. Well, I asked her for help at first, just kind of see what what I was getting into. I didn't want to jump right into it because I obviously didn't know. But I was like, okay. When she told me about the process, her husband, Carrie, he's another coach, amazing dude as well, wonderful couple. They basically showed me what the whole program would be. I was like, all right, let's do this. I didn't think I was going to compete. I really was just kind of doing it. They do transformation work. And I was like, okay, I just want to kind of get healthy. That's all I wanted to do. Get healthy, be happier with myself, and transform my life. Because I was tired. I was so tired because I kept these patterns in my life. I looked back, and I just kept seeing myself. I would be at a high, and I'd hit a low. Be at a high, hit a low. And I would just be like, why am I doing this? Why is this happening? And it was because I was really sick. I was just sick in my mind in some aspects. And that's partially because of birth control also, which that's a whole other subject.
Yes, I agree.
Big one that we just, girls at our age are just put on birth control immediately.
At 16 years old.
It's absurd.
Bunch of chemicals.
Absurd. Oh, yeah, the pill. Yeah. So anyway, that's a whole other subject. But anyway, we got the whole nutrition plan going, the training plan, and I was fired up because I'm very much someone that needed structure in life. Like, clearly, I just needed structure. I needed someone to tell me what to do, and I'll follow it to a T. I've always been that way. And as an athlete, former athlete, that's what I needed. So I followed this plan, and at first, let me tell you, it was rough because I was eating fast food. I was eating junk. I was fueling my body with like, it's literal crap. Like, it's just chemicals and all sorts of and alcohol, that's poison. The way that alcohol, when you get drunk, the act is literally poisoning your mind. Like, that's how we get drunk, is we get poisoned. It's so crazy. But anyway, so followed that plan, started to see results. It was hard at first, the first 4 weeks. I was just kind of like,
He wants his mama again.
I know. The first 4 weeks, I was like, this is rough. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not seeing anything yet. But that's where everyone starts to fall off, right? So if you're starting something, if you're trying to make a change, you need to be patient. Let me just say that again. You need to be patient because it doesn't just happen. You're having to reverse years and years of just damage to your body, and like, you're having to clean out your systems and like basically restart everything. So
It takes 30 days to get neutral.
Minimum.
right. So I basically had to do all of that, and really hang on for dear life and not give up. I was like, okay, no, you've paid for this. So I think that's kind of what kept me locked in too, is like, when you have a commitment, it's a lot easier
Yeah.
to stick with it. Because if you really need that kick in the ass, well,
Pay for
the money will help you stay involved. But anyway, yeah, so we got to this point where I think it was like week 6, and I was like, damn, I got abs, and I'm starting to see my legs are smaller, like in a really good way. I'm starting to be stronger. My mind is healthier. I'm starting to think more positively, be happy. I loved like being outside. I was paying attention to everything. It's amazing what will happen when you just clean yourself out of all of this crap. Because that's really where I think a lot of people's issues stem, is food. Food. We just... They don't want us. When I say they, the government, they do not want us. They do not want us to be healthy, y'all. They don't, because that doesn't make money for them. You kidding? So we got on the supplements I was on was just multivitamin, fish oil, which is really good for a lot of reasons, not just fat burning. It's essential for your brain function. I'm trying to look back. I did use pre-workout for the first time. That was.
That'll get you through 4 weeks.
I was like, what? I wanted to run through a wall. I was like, yeah,
Was it a lot of caffeine?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Well, I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
It was C4, which at the time...
Oh, look at Randy. I was like, hell no.
We've all had our first
right.
C4, right?
Exactly.
I will tell you right now, I
Yes.
have never taken a C4.
Wait, what?
Never.
What?
Never. I've seen too many people go
I
crazy on
bet
it.
Shannon's done red line too. You remember those
Ooh,
things?
yes. Oh, my God. Like, red line is so nuts. Oh, my God. That was... Honestly, well, fast forward to prep real quick. During prep, when you have no energy, you're like so lean, and you're just... Yeah, red line was like a normal for me at one point, so... Yeah.
No, funny story. I've seen this girl do Stairmaster for like an hour plus. I get on the Stairmaster the next day for like 20 minutes. I'm like, 20 minutes, no hand shit. I did it. She's like, good job, Haja. You started somewhere. Like, how the hell do you do an hour?
Dude, it's, what?
My guess is
Distraction.
she didn't do an hour. She's done like 2 or 3.
Yeah, what's the
before.
longest you've ever... Yes, for the people out there listening, what's the longest you've ever done on the Stairmaster?
Or floors. Floors might be easier.
2 hours.
2 hours? No hands?
Yeah. Well, wait, I can't say no hands the whole time.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you weren't doing the thing where people
You were just
are like,
holding on. Yeah.
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 When I
And you see that?
when I see people leaning on, I'm like, get
What are you
your
doing?
ass up.
Yeah.
What you do? Like, what's the point of
Yeah,
that?
there you go.
No. Like, for me, well, we're kind of bouncing around because I'm such a squirrel whenever I think.
Go.
But
It's okay.
like with Stairmaster, like one of the things that I cannot stand is when people are leaning on it. Like I would look over and when I was in prep, because you're kind of angry, you're a little hangry, There's moments. I was actually a happy girl during it, but my version of like unhappy would be like looking at this girl like, okay, Come on, don't do the kickbacks. Okay, that doesn't do.
Oh, where they're kicking back their leg on the Stairmaster?
Yes, it doesn't.
Wait, on the Stairmaster or just on the...
Kickbacks on the Stairmaster do not do for you. Okay? Use your damn legs. Use your feet. Take a full plant, on the Stairmaster. Like, literally. Like, use your damn legs. Don't be on your toes. Yeah, that was the big thing was I would use my whole foot. So when I would step on the step, you would just...
Really
like,
step.
how do you walk up the stairs? I mean, some people walk on their toes, but use the whole foot. When you engage your whole foot... you're using the whole leg, like you're engaging all of those muscles rather than having it be unequal, which in turn is going to engage your whole body, make it stronger. Like, yeah, it makes
all good things.
Yeah, all good things. So, yeah, that's my little rant for the day.
No, I love it. I love it.
I can't do
Wait,
it.
yeah, you're over here giving us some gems. What are some other gems that you've learned during bodybuilding in the weight room?
Wait, other gyms I've been to or
like
what?
No gems, like
gems.
Yeah,
I was
gems,
like, what?
not gems.
Gems. Ooh.
Yeah, give us some gems.
I gotta think on that one. Hydrate. Hydrate. There was this girl actually that, well, she kind of screwed it up for everybody. She wasn't a good example of this, but I did the 75 hard, which you and I have always kind of gone back and forth with.
Yep.
But yeah, hydrate is huge because you have to think about if you're going to clean out your system, how are you going to do it naturally? And that's just from water alone. Like that is what cleaning out your pipes, Like, so I would drink about 1 gallon a day just to make sure I was really kind of getting that gunk out of my system. And the body is like 80% water or something crazy like that. Not maybe more than that. It needs water in order to work. So
fact check us. What's the body water percentage?
Please.
All right, please
Keep talking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like, I can't remember right now. I usually
I think the
remember
Earth
this.
is 80% water.
Which, oh my God, that's just so crazy. We haven't discovered like half the oceans yet. Like that's gnarly. That's a whole nother subject too.
You are a squirrel.
I know. It's so funny. You're so all over the place.
What's your favorite state?
Wait, hold on. I want to ask this question selfishly. I need to get abs.
Oh God.
Quick. I don't want to say quick because I love the process, but what is the best way?
Hang
for
on,
me to
before let me interview, but just
Yeah.
before we move on,
Let's hear it.
the body is 60%.
What is
and the body is 60% water, and then I looked up
That's all right.
the world, just it's 71%.
So
we were close. We were closer to the world
You know what?
percentage,
Hey,
but that's all right.
It's all right. I was there. Okay, I was there. You get the idea, right?
Yeah, by the time he'll listen to this, we'll be 80% water.
You get the idea, okay? Oh man. Well, back to the water thing. That's a gem. That's a gem, right?
Okay,
It's just hydrating because you have to think about it as like you're a car, right? You can't move without gas.
That's true.
Right? So water is essential. That's how your systems are going to work properly. They're lubricated. They're ready to go. Like they're going to clean itself. Like we have the ability to naturally heal ourselves. And that's not something that's pushed because Big Pharma wants to run our bodies. Like they want to control us. They want us to think that, pills are the answer. But yeah, we have the ability to do that. Yeah.
Well,
So that
before
was
you
Bill's.
answered him getting abs,
I was
'cause
like,
that's going to be 20 minutes.
I just wanted to get back to that one real quick. That's all.
Yeah, I want to know exactly how long were you working out? Because there's probably misconceptions that you were in the gym like 4 or 5 hours a day. Maybe you were. I mean, what was it more just specification and being really
Well,
programmatic with it, or was it just volume?
It was really strategic. So, I see a lot of people that would work out like for hours, and it just like you can get a really decent workout within an hour or two. It's absurd. I see people. This guy the other day, I'm doing 13 sets. Like, what? What? Like 13 sets? Are you
13 of one.
kidding?
Yeah, 13 cents of one.
Earmuffs. Like, he's heard it all at this point. He's 6 months. But no, like I would say, like, wait, oh God, what was the question?
13. You were talking about
See, look at me.
quality over quantity.
Yeah, it was really quality over quantity for sure. Like, so my workouts, I would have. It depend. Like I said, strategically, we would have to kind of increase it as we went. So it came to a point where I wanted to compete. Because she's like, yeah, she was hyping me up. She's like, you could do this. And like, what do you think? And I was like, I need something. I need to keep rolling with this kind of fire and keep getting to the next goal. I'm such an athlete at heart, right? So got into that, and as we kept moving forward, I'd go from like 30 minutes of cardio to like 45 to like 60 minutes. So you just had to keep going, because with working out and getting healthy, like you do hit points where it's stagnant, right? Because you've got to keep your body guessing, right? So my workouts would last, I would say, 2 hours, maybe like hour and a half. It depended on what body group I was working on. Legs, I would spend a little bit more time because it was more of my stubborn area. So, because most women, we do hold our weight in our lower halves. And I needed more muscle a little bit. And the category I was in, it took a little bit longer. So
Bro,
anyway,
this girl's doing 90-pound dumbbell lunges.
Savage.
I think it was 85. Was it?
Oh, 85. I'm sorry,
don't know.
guys. 10 pounds off.
I don't know. It was something crazy. It was like
something ridiculous.
I can't remember what it was.
I tried it the next day. I was like, this is actually heavy. What the heck?
Oof, yeah, but that's taken like years, to get to. People, yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, so anyway, my workouts were like 2 hours. But yeah, I think fasted cardio, huge thing. Fasted cardio is really great. I really loved it because it gave me a kickstart for the day, and it just really fuels your mind. It really gets you like just fired up. Like for the whole day, you're just ready to go.
So you wouldn't lift in the morning?
I wouldn't lift in the morning because I didn't want to do it fasted. I don't recommend that at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't recommend that at all, especially if you're wanting to just have a little bit more energy for your lift. Because if you have to think about it, if you're going to go lift on an empty stomach, at least this is how people are going to have probably opinions on this, but me personally, I wouldn't have energy for that lift. If I had a full, like maybe 1 or 2, 3 meals in for my leg day, I was going to crush it because I had carbs. I had carbs, I had good protein, I had good macros leading in to that lift, and I had a lot of energy because food is fuel. Literally, we have to look at that as like food is fuel. What we put into our bodies is going to...
He's like, yeah, hell yeah, food.
breast milk for him, like he's like...
I need some food now.
I need it, right?
Were you meal prepping yourself, subscribing to a service?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you're winging,
I gotta give them
winging the
I
food.
gotta give them a shout out. They were so amazing. This was when they were just coming out, but I was making my own stuff, but then I got fed up. I was like, oh, this is like so much work.
Time.
It was a lot of fun on Sundays because I would use that as like my day of worship, and then I would like, get ready for the week. I was starting to build like a really good routine. So it was really cool to see like this whole process. I was kind of getting like good habits along the way. And just kind of transforming that way. But I was using the prep. Well, they're called the prep kitchen now, but it was called. Hi, buddy. Hello.
Is he getting hungry?
Let's turn this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The prep kitchen.
Yeah. So they were called the prep kitchen now, but at the time they were called the Dallas Prep Kitchen. And they were just starting out, and they just kind of like supported me through the whole thing, and gave me a discount code, and I was really pushing them heavy. And yeah, they were great. Oh God, they were so helpful. So that's what really helped kind of take that thinking out of it, because a lot of people overthink the out of it. I do, for sure. And just
it being the food, the supplements,
just
all
taking
the stuff
care of that.
The wraparound stuff, other than just doing the work.
Well, because I didn't realize like food was like the main way of changing your physique. It's not the lift, okay? That's a supplement. The supplements are not going to do it either. It's called a supplement for a reason. It's like an addition, right? That's what's going to help. The food is the main culprit that's going to help you, right? Because that's like 80% of your days. Here we go with the percentages again.
It's actually 60%.
It's only 60. But like food is everything, right? Like everything we do in life is around food.
Thanks.
This guy for sure, He's like screaming at me all the time for that. But yeah, so taking that out of the equation, everything just worked. So I recommend if you're trying to get fit, find a meal prep service. If you can't afford it, great. Do it. Or doing it on your own is so easy. There's so many people that can show you the way. You can DM me if you need some guidance. I give my nuggets for free a lot of the time just because I'm so passionate in helping other people. Because I was so lost, and I was always reaching out to other people that helped me. So I just want to pay it forward. But yeah, food.
Have you ever thought about coaching not only people that want to get transformed fitness wise, but I feel like because that's saturated like crazy. I feel like there might be a market for you coaching women that are also mothers, or women that are maybe a chapter behind that, but want to be mothers and want to maintain the fitness track, the transformation that they're on, and don't want that to be a something that it's a challenge. But I think you've obviously going through it, and you're powerfully positioned to serve those folks.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I've been pushed in that direction lately. Now that I've kind of come full circle here, like he's 6 months now, I'm starting to get myself back. You kind of lose yourself a little bit in the process, and I'll explain a little bit more on that. But I'm very, very passionate about helping other women because I was looking for answers, which I've not been on TikTok before this. Okay, I wasn't using TikTok at all. But when I was pregnant, I was like, God, I didn't have a lot of resources near me. So we went to California to have my baby with my family, which I did not like being out in California. Hated the laws out there, ridiculous, but it was nice to be around family. Anyway, I was using TikTok to find answers, and that's where all the info was. I literally learned everything. I connected with so many moms, which this is what I love about social media, is that you're able to connect with people all over the place. Yeah, bud. And so anyway, I know what it's like to be in that position. You're searching for answers. You don't know where to go because the resources are there, but
not organized.
They're not. It's just not clear. Like even when you search it on Google, you're not going to find everything you need to know. And we can't really get everything we need on Google, as you know. Like not all the information is going to be accurate.
All right, Shannon. So you got me thinking. Through all this stuff, through all the process, you won, and you said it multiple times. But how was it like winning?
Incredible. Because, and I broke down in tears on stage actually when I won. Because
we should play the video of her winning. It's freaking amazing.
All right, if you can send it to me.
Because it wasn't just me winning the competition. It really was symbolic of like everything I had done in life. I had so many struggles, and I had so many moments where I just wanted to win, and I was kind of losing in life a lot of the time. And so when I won, it really just was incredibly symbolic of like, you did this, motherfucker. Like you accomplished this on your own. You were in charge. I think that's what's beautiful about bodybuilding is that, you are the one only that are doing this. So yeah, you have the help of that coach, but they're not doing the work for you.
Facts.
You're doing the work. You have to do the work. Yeah. And I earned that. And it was incredible. I mean, it just, it forever imprints in your mind.
You would do the work all over again.
Oh, absolutely. All the sweat and tears. I mean, because I'll tell you, there were some really ugly moments of like when I was super, super lean and I was exhausted and, I really just didn't want to, I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to do Stairmaster for an hour. Like, screw this. But I would say, no. You cannot quit. You've come this far. Don't you quit. It's just the Stairmaster. Just move. You don't have to be perfect on it. Just get it done. And I would get it done. I would distract myself. So if you're hating cardio right now, distract yourself with whatever you need to. So I would watch a show. I'd listen to a bunch of podcasts. Shout out to Andy Frisella. Like really, man, I love that dude. He really spits some amazing, amazing facts. And so I'd listen to him and he'd just fire me up. And he'd be like, listen, or David Goggins, like, oh my God, I love David Goggins. Like, he'd be like, running's for the week. Running isn't for the weak. I can eat for breakfast, blah, blah, blah. He would just, I don't know. I'm trying to think of
eliminate all of your excuses.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I do want to ask you this, though, Shannon. That moment you won, did you think for a quick second, what are my bullies doing now?
Oh, absolutely. I looked back. I mean, I don't want to look back at them in a way that like, fuck you.
Forgive, but don't forget.
Yes. Like I kind of just wanted to.
That's one of my favorite things to say. It's like, I'm not going to give you that, but I don't forget.
Yeah.
I remember all of that.
Yeah. Like I don't want to say that I like looked at them like, like I wish something bad on them.
Yeah.
Because I really try not to. I can't imagine what their home lives were like maybe at the time. Because, like I said, we all do things out of reactions from whatever our environments are, you know. So I kind of looked back at them. I was like, I bet you I'm doing a lot better than they are. Yeah,
we talk about that.
won.
We talk about
I
that
hope you're
a
doing
lot.
well, but watch
Yeah,
me.
Yeah.
like I hope you see this and you see that you didn't have a leg up on me on anything. You didn't win.
That's it.
Like I did that also to show them like you thought that you were tearing my life down. I rose up, motherfucker. Like I won. Okay. So that's really like what fired me up too.
Yeah, I love. So you were just in that dark side the entire time with prep. Like, was that
yeah.
like in the back of your mind? Like, I'm gonna prove them. I'm gonna show them.
It was.
I'm gonna
It
show
was.
them.
I don't want to say I used everybody as like a reason because like you have to prove it to yourself. When you prove it to yourself, it shapes your whole life.
Yeah.
That 75 hard. That was kind of like a challenge I did after the fact or whatever. I did that during COVID. Actually, no, that was before. Yeah, the show. That's what really kind of changed my mindset. It completely changed my mindset. And I realized, like, you know, you can have motivations and stuff outside of you, but, like, at the end of the day, if you don't, in yourself, push yourself, like, in those hard moments, and you're not able to be resilient when it comes down to it, and you're just by yourself, like, you're not going to win. No one's going to do it for you, right? So when I was alone and during COVID and training, you know, I wasn't checking in with everybody. I wasn't with anybody because we were being kept in our homes for stupid bullshit, you know? So, buddy, he really just wants to be a part of it.
We'll finish on this. Aside
Yeah.
from feeding him, what's next for you?
You know, I'm still thinking about that because I've just been trying to be present for him. It's not about me, right? I have like made my whole life about me. And he has really been kind of shaping where this goes. I think I've really kind of been too much in my head. I need to be more of a servant to other people. I'm starting to see that I have a lot of gifts that aren't just for me to use. I need to use them for other people, whatever that looks like. So currently I'm trying to just, you know, I had the benefit and privilege of being able to be at home with him for the first 6 months. And now I'm looking, you know, figuring out what my career is going to look like. But ultimately I want to be with him all the time so that, you know, I'm really shaping his future because we really need to be home with our kids. Like, we really need to be their parents. There's too many people that are, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You don't need the government. You're basically saying you don't want the government to raise
Yeah,
you.
like, I don't want, even the schools nowadays, they're not, you know. So anyway, I really think that coaching will be in my future. Still working on that. And working from home I'm looking at those kind of options right now. But yeah, being his mama.
He's ready. Well, he's
hungry.
I know. I know. Can you just maybe let's sit here for a second.
Let's see.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna do this. Okay.
Well, any departing words to our audience, Shannon?
Man, we didn't get to talk about any of the fun stuff.
I know. It's all good. We'll get it next time.
Shoot. I would just say, you know, hey, Satan wants us to pay attention to the negativity in the world. And he puts those thoughts into our minds. Any negative thoughts in your mind, that is not you.
Call that the inner thief.
You. Okay? That is not you talking. That is someone very evil trying to steer you in a bad direction. So ignore the negativity. Find some purpose in whatever it may be. Try so many things. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to, you know, not do things perfectly. You know, put yourself out there. And just don't be afraid to face adversity because that's what really shaped me to be the person I am. It may not be the path I would have wanted for myself, but it got me here. And not everybody has it perfect in life. We sure as hell don't. So just keep pushing, keep working hard, be healthy, try to find something that fires you up for every day, gives you that purpose, and try to be helpful to other people, you know? Anyway.
Man, Shannon, well, it was great having you here. We
The
loved you.
government.
We loved you and Declan. We out, baby. See you next week on Interrupt. Peace.
I never mess up the commas. You know I put that on my mom. Well, that's all we got for this episode of Inner Pump. One thing that would really help both of us and other new potential listeners is for you to rate this show and leave a comment on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Also, make sure to check us out at innerpump.com on social media, and if you enjoyed this episode and received anything of value, please share this podcast with anyone you think might enjoy it. Until next time, we out, baby. Inner Pump. Peace.